tell you. We live now, but see. You could send that. You could send that to your live. Shalom. Alright. Just getting things set up just to make sure everything is alright. Yo. Yeah. Good. Yeah, we should.
All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to Allah Hakim out there that's doing the work in sincerity and charity with humiliation. All across the four winds, to you I salute. All right. So pretty much we're going to go into a brief lesson, I'm excited for this. Yeah, with showing you that the new moon and the Sabbath, that the new moon, is the first day, and then 7 days later, which is on day 8, is the new moon. The Sabbath Salakia. All right. So we're going through this already, and we're just gonna go through it again, and try to be more clear and be more concise with it. All right. So give me the book of Leviticus 23. We can jump through that quick.
All right. God. Leviticus chapter 23. Verse 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Leviticus
Start at 4.
chapter 23, verse 4. Right? And it reads, these are the feasts of Yahweh, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. In the 14th day of the first month, at even is Yahweh's supper, is Yahweh's Passover, sorry.
Read.
And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto Yahweh. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread.
Read.
Verse 7. And in the first day ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Right now, this is the feast of the Passover and the feast of unleavened bread, because our feast days coincides with the Salakia, man, with the Sabbath days. Right. All right. So we can hit that from that angle. All right. So we see it says on the 14th day at evening of the first month. Now why it says the 14th day at evening? Because the evening and the first day, all right, the evening and the morning is the first day. See what I saying? A day. You see what I saying? Now this is let me get it. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 5. And God called light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. Alright, so that's why it says on the 14th day at evening, and then it goes on in the next verse to say the 15th day. Alright?
Okay.
Alright, so we see here on the 14th and the 15th day. Alright, so now let's jump now to verse 33. We're going to read from 33 all the way down to 39. Alright, and then we're going to establish when is day 1.
God. Alright. This is Leviticus chapter 23, verse 33. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of this 7th month shall be the feast of tabernacles for 7 days unto Yahweh.
Right, read.
On the first day shall be an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Right, so on the first day, alright, there'll be a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work, so that's a Sabbath. On the first day.
God.
Alright, read.
Verse 36. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you. And ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein.
Right. It says 7 days ye shall offer up an offering made by fire. Alright, then on the 8th day you should it's a holy convocation unto you. Alright, which is another Sabbath again. Which this is letting you know that day 1 is a Sabbath, and then day 8 is also a Sabbath.
Right?
You see that? Read on.
Then
37.
37. These are the feasts of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation, to offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything upon his day. Besides the Sabbaths of Yahweh, and besides your gifts, and besides all your vows, and besides all your free will offerings, which ye give unto Yahweh.
Alright. Now the next voice is gonna go into it now. Read.
Verse 39. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month.
Right, so on the 15th day, on day 15, because we already established, alright, back in verse 4 and 5, that on the 14th day at the evening on the 15th, you shall do no servile work therein. So this is a Sabbath. So on the 15th day, alright, read.
Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto Yahweh 7 days.
Right, you should keep a feast unto the Lord Yahweh 7 days. Alright, read.
On the first day ye shall be on the first day shall be a Sabbath.
Alright, on the first day is a Sabbath. Read.
And on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
And on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. Now this is on the 15th day. The first day, which is day 15, shall be a Sabbath. And on the 8th day, alright, shall be a Sabbath, which is what? The 22nd. Alright, so it is establishing the days. Alright, so now let's go now and let's find out, okay, what is day 1? Alright, because we already jump around the 14th day at evening and the 15th day and all of that. So now let's find out when it exactly day 1 is. Alright, so for that, give me 1 Samuel 20, and we can start at verse 4, and then we can jump around.
Alright. Start at verse 4.
Yeah, 5, so that's it.
This is 1 Samuel chapter 20, verse 5. And David said unto Jonathan, Behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I should not fail to sit with the king at meat. But let me go, that I may hide myself in the field unto the third day at even.
Right, so now this is David talking to Jonathan, and he's telling him tomorrow is the new moon. Alright? So tomorrow is the new moon, which is what? Day 1.
Day 1.
Which is what? A Sabbath. Because it says here on the first day and on the 8th day. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. Right? Then he said what here? That he's going to hide himself in the field until the third day. So when is day 1? So now let's further prove, because when you look it up, new moon, in the Hebrew it is Kodash, which means month. You see what I said? Same coordinates, same etymology. New moon, moon and month. Same thing. Alright? So now let's go into it a little more. Alright? So let's jump down now to verse, we'll start, jump down to 24.
Verse 24. So David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come, the king sat him down to eat meat. And the king sat upon his seat as at other times, even upon a seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side, and David's place was empty.
Right, read on.
Verse 26. Nevertheless, Saul spake not anything that day, for he thought something had befallen him. He is not clean. Surely he is not clean.
Right, now this is on the new moon. Alright, because remember now in verse 5, David tells Jonathan, Behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and he'll fail to sit at the eat meat with the king.
With the king, right?
You see what I said? So Saul was thinking, surely David is unclean. Alright, so this is on the new moon.
Right.
Which is day 1. Alright, so now let's jump, now let's read verse 27 now.
Okay. Verse 27. And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the second day of the month.
You see that? It came to pass on the morrow, which was what?
The second day of the month.
Alright, so that proves that the new moon is day 1.
God.
See what I said? Alright.
If you can't get that, then it ain't for you.
Can't. Alright, let's finish read it out now. Take it from the top again, 27.
Verse 27. And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the second day of the month, that David's place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan his son, Wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to meat, neither yesterday nor today?
Right. Okay, so on the second day of the month, which that proves, because David was in at the table on a new moon, which is what? A Sabbath.
A Sabbath.
And this is on the second day of the month.
God.
Alright? So, let's just go back now to Leviticus 23 and 39 again.
Alright. So,
Alright.
Leviticus 23 and verse 39. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto Yahweh 7 days.
Right.
On the first day shall be a Sabbath,
On the first day shall be a Sabbath. Read.
and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
And on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. It's that simple. Alright? Because we already break down to you that the new moon is day 1.
God.
Alright? So now, let's go here now to the book of Exodus now, chapter 16. Alright? And we can take it from the top.
Alright. Exodus chapter 16. Starting at verse 1.
Yeah. And straight on down to 5.
Alright, verse 1. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came unto the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt.
Right, so this is when we was coming out of Egypt on the 15th day, which is what? The Sabbath.
Which is the Sabbath.
But we just read, this correlates with our feast days.
God.
Alright? On the 14th day at evening, which is the 15th day. Alright?
God.
Alright, so I don't doubt that you could travel on the Sabbath day. Alright, because this
Right.
one we was coming out of
Right?
Egypt.
That's exactly what it's saying.
Alright, so now all this here is happening on the 15th day. Alright, now we already established the new moon is day 1. Alright, then you have on the 8th day, alright, is another Sabbath. Now this is the 15th day.
Right.
You see that? You see that?
Right.
And this is according to the moon.
Right.
Alright. So now let's read on to see what happened now on this particular day.
God.
Alright, because this is gonna go from Sabbath to Sabbath to Sabbath. Alright?
Right. Verse 2. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness.
Read.
And the children of Israel said unto them, Would to God we had died by the hand of Yahweh in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. For ye have brought us forth into the wilderness to kill this whole assembly with anger. Hunger, sorry.
Read.
Then said Yahweh unto Moses, Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or no.
Read on.
And it shall come to pass that on the sixth day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily.
Right. So now all this is being said on the 15th day. Alright? Because the children of Israel, as you can see here, they was murmuring. Alright, so the Most High is telling Moses, that on the 6th day, they can prepare that which they bring in, so they can gather twice as much. Alright? You see that? But let's read on though. Verse 6.
Alright, verse 6. And Moses and Aaron said unto the children of Israel, At even, then ye shall know that Yahweh hath brought you out from the land of Egypt.
Read.
And in the morning, then ye shall see the glory of Yahweh, for that he heareth your murmurings against Yahweh. And what are ye? And what are we, that ye murmured against us? And Moses said, This be when Yahweh shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full. For that Yahweh heareth your murmurings, which ye murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against Yahweh.
Right, read.
And Moses spake unto Aaron, Say unto the congregation of the children of Israel, Come near before Yahweh, for he had heard your murmurings. And it came to pass, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of Yahweh appeared in the cloud. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, At even ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh your power. And it came to pass that at even the quails came up and covered the camp, and in the morning the dew lay round about the house. And when the dew that lay was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as the hair frost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, It is manna. For they wist not what it was. And Moses said unto them, This is the bread which Yahweh had given you to eat.
Read.
Verse 16. This is the thing which Yahweh had commanded. Gather of it every man according to his eating, an omer for every man according to the number of your persons. Take ye every man from them which are in his tents. And the children of Israel did so, and gathered some more, some less. And when they did meet, it with an omer, he had that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his eating. And Moses said, Let no man leave of it till the morning. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left it of it until the morning, and it bred worms and stink. And Moses was wroth with them, and they gathered it every morning, every man according to his eating. And when the sun waxed hot, it melt.
Alright. Alright, so now they was gathering this every day now. Read.
Okay. And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses.
Right, so now it came to pass on the 6th day. Alright, so this we read here from when you go back up to verse 1. Verse 1 is telling you this is from the 15th day.
God.
Alright, and this is letting you know what happened all through the week.
God.
You see what I'm saying? Because they was gathering this all through the week. Right.
Every day.
Right. So now this is while Israel is in the wilderness now. Alright, so now it came to pass on the 6th day that they gathered twice as much. Alright. Now why he tell them to gather twice as much on the 6th day? Alright. Let's find out.
Verse 23. And he said unto them, This is that which Yahweh had said, Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto Yahweh. Bake that which ye will bake today, and sweeten that, and see it that ye will see it, and that which remaineth overlay up for you to be kept until the morning.
Right. So he's saying this to gather this on the 6th day, because the next day is tomorrow, which is what the day of Sabbath.
God.
Alright. So now when you come from 15, alright, and 7 days, that take you what to the 22nd.
God.
Alright, because we already established that the new moon is day 1. Alright, and the next Sabbath after that, which is on day 8, is a Sabbath.
God.
We established that day 15 is a Sabbath.
God.
Now we establishing now that day the 22nd is a Sabbath, because it says it right here. They ain't say it, but it ain't come out plain and say it, but the 22nd is a Sabbath. No. You gotta read it and see that now.
You gotta read it and understand it.
Alright. But I'll read on.
Verse 24. And they laid it up till the morning, and Moses bade, and did not stink, neither was there any worm therein.
Why? Because the Most High do that to make sure they would eat on the Sabbath day as well. See what I said?
Yeah.
Read.
Verse 25. And Moses said, Eat that the day, for the day is the Sabbath unto Yahweh. The day ye shall not find it in the field. 6 days ye shall gather it, but on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath, in it there shall be none.
Alright, so on the 7th day they ain't find nothing. Alright. Alright, so let's read on down to 30 now.
Alright. Verse 27. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the 7th day to gather, and they found none.
Right, because on the 7th day is the Sabbath.
It's the Sabbath.
Alright, read.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, How long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for that Yahweh had given you the Sabbath. Therefore he giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day. So the people rested on the 7th day.
Right. So now we understand here that the new moon is day 1 and also a Sabbath. Alright. So now you can show them this. We have a little illustration here of how it's laid out. Alright, and we have it here, you know, according to the Sabbath, we have it marked out for this month.
Alright. God.
Alright.
So what you're looking at right here, so we can look at, don't look at this right here from the top here.
Gotta hold it up.
Alright. You could we can start right here. Because this is where the new moon came in. Alright, actually the new moon came in here that evening about 3 after 3 o'clock. Alright.
So you can see, because you ain't probably know.
Alright.
On the 28th.
Alright. Right here.
Go back to the
Okay?
19th.
Sorry, not here, right here. Alright, the new moon came in right here on the 19th, which is the first day of the month. Alright?
That's when the new moon came.
The new moon came in about 3 after 3.
Yeah, someplace around.
Someplace around there on this evening right here. Till the 20th that evening.
Right, so from the 19th to the 20th, because the next new moon would be what? On the 29th, because we already established the pattern that day 1 is the new moon, day 8 is the Sabbath, day 15 is the Sabbath, alright, day 22 is the Sabbath, and then it's supposed to come back in again on the 29th. But now we look it up, and the moon orbits the earth 29.5 days. Alright, so that's why it come in on the 19th about 3 o'clock on the 19th of October about 3 p.m.
Right.
Alright, because you still have that 0.5. Now a lot of people, they get trapped up or they get mixed up because they count it as the whole day.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Right. So that's why they're saying, well, the new moon, people who follow in the new moon going off. Alright, they count it as on the 29th, and then when the Sabbath coming, the new moon coming again on the 29th, they saying, oh, that's 2 Sabbath, but not realizing that you still have another half a day to go.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's how it jumps from day to day throughout all the different week over a period of time. You see? So that's how that works. So we follow the new, we keep the Sabbath according to the new moon. Alright?
So you've been given from the scriptures, we established day 1. We saw in 1 Samuel chapter 20, day 2. Alright, and day 1. Okay, so now, like the brother said right here. So if you look at this properly, all right,
19.
this is the 19th of October. The new moon fall in about 3:30 or after 3 that evening. So from after 3 till after 3 on the 20th will be day 1. Okay?
So what we do, we just go from that evening to that evening,
Right.
because we already established the evening and the morning is the first day. All right. So that's how you get to day 20th, or the 20th day on the new moon. All right. Because it's coming on Thursday evening. All right.
And as well as the 8th day, because I know plenty Christians and other people will say, well, how will it come on the 8th day when the 7 days is Sabbath? Well, if you look at this chart here good, if day 1, all right, if the new moon is day 1, 8 days later will be the Sabbath.
Right, and that 8 days is incorporated within the Sabbath.
All right, because the next day will be the first working day.
Right.
So when you come the first working day, the next day you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Gone.
All right, because the scripture says 6 days you shall work, but the 7th day you shall rest.
Gone.
All right. So if you follow this chart, you'll get a proper understanding of how you keep the Sabbath, how you get the Sabbath.
Gone.
All right.
All right. So now, moving along now, I think we pretty much, done hit the point on that. All right.
Yeah.
So, what else we got now?
All right.
All right. So, well, another thing. All right. Just wanna touch a little bit now, on the book of Romans. All right. And who was the book of Romans written to? Okay. Because when you read the book of Romans, all right, and Corinthians and Ephesians and all that, a lot of people don't know who those people are. They just say, well, they're Gentiles. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of our people don't realize that these are Israelites in the Gentile state of mind. And this topic keep coming up over and over and over again. All right? So you could jump to the book of Romans chapter 5, verse 8. All right? Babu Kasha.
God. All right, this is Romans chapter 5, verse 8. But the Most High commanded his love towards us, in that while we were yet sinners, Hamashiach Yahushai died for us.
Khan. All right? So, Paul is writing a letter to the Romans. All right? That's why it's called the book of Romans. You see what I said?
God.
All right, you read that again.
But the Most High commanded his love towards us, in that while we were yet sinners, Hamashiach died for us.
Khan. All right? So now, that's a clue right there. See what I said? Because it says, while we were yet sinners. What is sin? Oh, that and give me 1 John 3 and 4.
God.
You see what I said? See, because Paul is giving us clues. All right? And even Peter and all speak about how Paul's letters is hard to be understood.
God.
All right? But we, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, he's giving us that oil to see these things. All right? So, give me what you got there.
This is 1 John 3 and 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law.
God, and who is under the law? Well, give me go back and hold Romans and give me Leviticus 26 and 46.
God.
Alright, that's to show you who is under the law. Alright, because these pastors and then they'd say, well, oh, that's everybody, or that's the Gentiles, or whatever. Alright, because Paul said, what? While we were yet sinners. You see what I saying?
God.
So, give me what you got there, Bible, because yeah.
It's Leviticus 26 and 46. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which Yahweh made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses.
Khan. Alright, so Israel is under the law. You see that?
Can't get no clearer than that.
Clear as day. Alright, so let's go back and we're going to read the book of Romans chapter 5 of verse 8 one more time. Alright,
God.
just so you could be clear on that.
God. But the Most High commanded his love towards us, in that while we were yet sinners, Hamashiach died for us.
You see that? So Yahweh died for us, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. He died. you see how simple this thing is? You see what I'm saying?
And he died so that we might have everlasting life.
Khan,
But our people, they don't want everlasting life.
you understand?
You.
Alright, so read verse 9 through 10.
God. This is verse 9. Romans 5 and 9. Much more then, being now justified by his blood, we shall be saved from wrath through him. For if, when we were enemies, we were reconciled to the Most High by the death of his Son, much more, being reconciled, we shall be saved by his life.
Khan. Alright, so we were reconciled. Reconciled means what? To bring back or make friendly again.
God.
You see what I said? So now, in the Old Testament, right, who did the Most High made a covenant with? Alright? Who did he made a covenant with? And who broke that covenant to cause them to be unfriendly or to go away from the Most High? Alright, so but now what we gonna do? Right? Which he made that covenant with Israel. Alright, because we just read it in Leviticus 26:46.
God.
You see what I said? So now what we're going to do, we're going to go back, we're going to get the book of Exodus now, chapter 24, and you could read from 1 to 8. Let's get that first covenant.
God.
Because Romans 9 and 4 tell us the covenants. And the two of the covenants is with Israel.
God.
You see what I said? So let's read the first covenant.
Alright. This is Exodus chapter 24, starting at the top. And he said unto Moses, Come up unto Yahweh, thou and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship ye afar off. And Moses alone shall come near Yahweh, but they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him. And Moses came and told the people all the words of Yahweh, and all the judgments. And all the people answered with one voice, and said, All the words which Yahweh had said, we will do.
Khan. You see that? All the words that the Most High said, we will do. What verse it is?
Well, that's verse 3.
Alright? You see that? And this is the covenant being made with Israel.
God.
You see what I said? Clear as day. Alright? Clear as day. We are the true prophets of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. Alright? Not Pastor Pork Chop who you see in the churches, them preaching and teaching our people all kind of garbage and shit. You know?
I tell you, that's destroying our people, causing them the earth daily.
You understand? Plucking the skin off of them.
See,
Alright?
sucking them dry.
Khan.
You know, sucking them dry. The Lord said he made us to be fat. You know, eat good, live good.
Khan. Alright? Read on.
Verse 4. And Moses wrote all the words of Yahweh, and rose up early in the morning, and builded an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars, according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he went and he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto Yahweh. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. Verse 7. And he took the book of the covenant.
Right, he took the book of the covenant. All right.
Okay.
Read.
And read in the audience of the people. And they said, all that Yahweh had said, we will do.
You see that? All right.
And be obedient.
Right, this is the covenant being made with Israel. All right. This is the reconcile, the gospel of reconciliation. And as this lesson goes on, you'll see that what Paul is saying, he isn't saying nothing new. This is the same doctrine of all, the same doctrine in the Old Testament. Ain't nothing changed.
None.
All right. Read verse 8.
And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which Yahweh had made with you concerning all these words.
Gone. You see that? Clear as day.
Right?
All right. So the Most High made the covenant with Israel, and Israel broke that covenant. So this gospel of reconciliation, or the reconcile, this is who this is for Israel, not for no damn heathens.
Not for no heathens at all.
This ain't for the so-called white man, the so-called Chinese man, so-called African. You know, this ain't for none of them.
No.
All right. Go back to Romans now. All the you is there, because we can come back there. Yeah. Go back to Romans and read verse 10 for me again.
All right. Romans 5 and 10. For if, when we were enemies, we were reconciled to the Most High by the death of his Son, much more, being reconciled, we shall be saved by his life.
Gone. All right. Why? Because we transgress from him. Because like we say, the word reconcile means to bring back or to make friendly again. And we transgress those laws.
Right.
All right. So now Yahweh Shai came to reconcile us back, to make us back friendly with Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
God.
All right. So now go from there. Give me chapter 19 and verse 8 now.
Exodus 19 and 8.
That's right. All right. Because what we're going to see here, we're going to see now the Most High making a verbal covenant with us. All right.
This is Exodus 19 and verse 8. Okay. And all the people answered together and said, all that Yahweh had spoken, we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people unto Yahweh.
God, so this is a verbal covenant made between the children of Israel and the Most High. And as you can see, Moses is playing the part of a mediator.
God.
You see what I said?
Just like how we have to go through Yahweh Shai for forgiveness.
God. All right. This is us making a verbal covenant with the Most High. You know what I mean? So who was the covenant made with? The covenant was made with Israel. All right. So now you could drop that and go back to Romans 5 and 10.
All right. Romans 5 and 10. For if, when we were enemies, we were reconciled to the Most High by the death of his Son, much more, being reconciled, we should be saved by his life.
Exactly. All right. So let's get a little bit more on that. Give me the book of 2 Corinthians 5 and 18 now. All right. Yeah, man. See. It's too easy, man. You know.
This is 2 Corinthians 5 and 18. And all things are of the Most High, who had reconciled us to himself by Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and had given to us the ministry of reconciliation.
You see that? So Paul was given the ministry of reconciliation. That's why Paul was to go out to these people who were being called Romans and Ephesians and Corinthians and Parthians and Medes and all of these shit.
Yeah.
You see what I said? All right. And he was to go to them and to bring them back to the Most High, to reconcile them.
Right.
All right. They were being called because why? they are Gentiles. All right.
God.
In the last week sometime or the week before that, me and the brother Yahweh, we gone into how Israel lost their heritage and became Gentiles.
God.
All right. You see what I said? So these are the same people who Paul is bringing back to the Most High, because we just read the covenant. All right. Paul's ministry was to the Gentiles, which he said his ministry is the ministry of reconciliation.
Reconciliation.
Which what? To make friendly again.
Right. Going back to the Romans 5 and 10.
All right. That's it. And on top of that, right, we are the children of the friend of the Most High.
God.
Who was the Most High ever friendly with? Abraham. He wasn't friendly with them, Moab and Ammon and Edom and all of them.
No.
All right. So Paul's ministry was to bring them back to the Most High, to reconcile them. All right. So now we show you who was under the covenant with the Most High, which is Israel. All right. So now let's read verse 19.
Verse 19. To wit, that the Most High was in Hamashiach Yahushai, reconciling the world unto himself, not imputing their trespasses unto them, and had committed unto us the word of reconciliation.
Khan, which the world is talking about Israel.
Israel.
All right.
It isn't talking about the whole world as the Christians are teaching.
That's it. All right.
You know.
Man, this thing is too easy. So let's go back now. Let's jump to Romans chapter 9 now. And you can pick it up from verse 1 to 4.
All right.
All right.
Romans chapter 9, verse 1. I say the truth in Yahushua Mashiach. I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Yahushua, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh,
Right. Read.
who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption,
Right. So the adoption is for Israel. Read.
and the glory,
Salakia, the adoption is for Israel because Yahweh Shai bring Israel back into the fold. We just read that
God,
in Romans chapter 5.
right?
You see? All right. Read.
Who are Israelites to pertain, whom pertain the adoption and the glory,
Right. The glory, which is the kingdom of heaven. Read.
and the covenant,
Read.
and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promises.
Right. All right. The glory, which is the kingdom of heaven, and the promises. All right. Which is and the covenants, which is talking about the covenants. All right. The old covenant, which is the first one, which we just read in Exodus.
Right.
All right. Which was written in stones. All right. And the second covenant is him putting the laws in our inward parts.
God,
All right. And I said, and we're gonna keep them perfect.
God,
You see what I said? So both covenants is with Israel. All right.
God.
Read. Verse 5.
Verse 5. Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, the Hamashiach came, who is over all. God bless forever. Amen.
Right. So when you call who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, he came and died for Israel.
God, he didn't come and die for everybody.
All right. That's why Paul was saying we are reconciled by the blood of Yahweh Shai. All right. Which, as you can see, is for none other than the children of Israel.
God,
Clear as day.
God,
All right. Paul is saying the exact same thing what was written. All right. The ministry of reconciliation, Israel was a hard-headed damn people.
you know,
All right.
and the heads are still hard as it is today.
Gone. All right.
Our people loved John 3:16. They love that scripture so much, but they have no understanding of that.
That's it.
You know. But when you ask them, what is John 3:14?
They can't tell you. They look at you like you stupid. You know?
No, I tell you.
Alright, give me Matthew 15:24.
Alright.
Alright, because Yahweh's blood was shed to reconcile or to bring back or to make Israel friendly with the Most High again. But now we're going to hear Yahweh say it out of his own mouth.
God.
Alright, and if you have a red letter Bible, you could follow along too.
Alright.
Alright.
This is Matthew chapter 15 and verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right. So he was not sent. Yahweh said he was sent, but only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I don't care how many translation you could look up all the translation. It can say the same thing.
Okay.
See what I said? This is for Israel only. All right, and Yahweh, this is out of the mouth of who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. All right.
Okay.
All right. So he's telling you that he's here or he's coming for only damn Israel.
And Yahushua sent his disciples or his apostles to the lost sheep of Israel too.
All right, and Paul would fall under that category. So Paul went and teach the actual Gentiles. Paul would be transgressing the laws.
Can.
He disobeyed a direct commandment from Yahweh himself.
Can.
All right, you people stupid, man. You know,
I have no understanding. Have no understanding of the scriptures.
God.
They don't understand the Lord. They don't understand the Most High.
No.
Right? They don't understand it.
All right.
See? And they cannot see. Their eyes are open, but yet they cannot see what in the front of them.
God.
Right? Because you know sometimes when you are looking for something and something is right in the front of your eyes, but I could come there or somebody else could come there and they could see that right in front of you.
You know, the Most High never cast away his own people.
No.
Again, so let's get Romans chapter 11 and 1. All right.
Right. Romans 11 and 1. I say then, had the Most High cast away his people? Yahweh forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
Gone. All right. So the Most High never cast his people off.
Right.
All right. So the purpose of Yahweh Shai was to come and reconcile Israel back to the Most High, because it tells you, all right, in Lamentation, we are become as enemies to the Most High, because why? We transgress his covenants, his laws. All right, that's why we brought out Exodus chapter 20 and 19. All right, showing you that the Most High made that covenant with Israel. It says, Israel says what? All that the Most High say we will do and be obedient.
Right.
But they transgress that. So we become as enemies to the Most High.
Right.
All
Just
right?
just like if your father tell you to do something, you ain't doing. What you think it happen?
That's it. All right. Now jump to chapter 9 and 24, because this way a lot of people get tripped up right here.
God, right? Romans 9 and 24. Even us, whom he had called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles.
Right. All right. Now, when you read up, you know the subject matter is Israel. That don't change.
God,
You see what I'm saying? So you can't take all people and include them in there when the subject matter is Israel. See what I'm saying? Now, this is where, like I say, this is where people get tripped up. All right, because they see Gentiles there. See what I'm saying? And they don't think that that's talking about. They think that that's talking about everybody. But what you are gonna understand, what you gotta understand is this: those Gentiles here are all right. Those Gentiles here represents Israelites in a Gentile state of mind. or the Israelites in a Gentile state of mind living in Rome, thinking that they are Romans. Because remember now, Israel had fallen away from their heritage.
Right.
All right, and the book of Maccabees chapter 1 proves that, and we going into that. Like I said, me and the brother Yahusap going into that last week or the week before that. All right. Read on, verse 25.
Verse 25. As he said also in OC.
OC is Hosea. That's a Greek way of saying Hosea. All right. Read.
I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved.
Right. Now this is Paul quoting the prophecy that is written by the prophet Hosea. So therefore, this let you know that those Gentiles that Paul is speaking about are indeed Israelites. All right, let's read that one more time.
Let me go to that stuff for yourself.
Yeah, hold on, I'm ready for that. Yeah. Bring this out one more time.
All right. For 25?
Yeah.
Romans 9:25. As he said also in OC, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved.
Right, because the Most High forsake Israel. We had become enemies to the Most High. See what I said? That's why we was in need of an intercessor, to speak our cause.
Right.
All right, so that we could be adopted and be brought back in and be reconciled and made friendly with the Most High, which is Paul's ministry, the ministry of reconciliation. All right?
Exactly.
So like I say, Paul is quoting this prophecy, and this prophecy pertains to Israel. So now you can break that out.
All right. This is Hosea chapter 2 and verse 23.
No, give me chapter 1 verse 10.
Chapter 1 and 10?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
All right. Hosea chapter 1 and verse 10. Yet the number of children shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power.
Khan. Exactly. So that's how Paul is speaking to the Israelites in Rome.
Khan.
All right? Because he's quoting the book of Romans right here.
Right.
You see what I said? I mean, Salakia, the book of Hosea.
Hosea.
All right. That's how you know that. Yeah. Yeah, man. All right. So you could go back and read that one more time, Babu Kashia, verse 25.
All right, this is Romans 9 and 25. As he said also in OC, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved.
Right. All right. So this Paul quoting Hosea. You see that? So now give me chapter 2 now and verse 25.
Hosea
right.
2 and 25, 23.
No. Romans
2. Romans chapter 2 and verse 25.
All right. Check this out.
For the circumcision verily profited, if ye keep the law. But if thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made uncircumcision.
Right. All right. So now Paul is going into the circumcision and uncircumcision now. All right. So the circumcision had to become the circumcision can become uncircumcision. What does that mean? All right. Well, let's find out. Let's find out what that means. We're gonna break it down thoroughly right now. Give me 1 Corinthians 7 and 19.
All right. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 19. Circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing, but the keeping of the commandments of the Most High.
Khan. Alright, so to be circumcised, you gotta keep the commandments of the Most High. Alright, so now we just read the covenant in Exodus. Alright, we just read the covenant in Exodus of who was ordered to keep the laws, statutes, and commandment, which was who? Israel.
Children of Israel.
Alright, so to be a part of the circumcision, you have to first be an Israelite.
Come. Exactly.
You see what I said?
So Paul isn't going to go to no heathens to preach reconciliation to them.
Can't. Alright?
If he would do that, he would be breaking the laws.
Can't.
He'd be transgressing the Most High word.
God, because he tell his disciples would go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Alright? Okay, so you see in Romans chapter 2, it's saying your circumcision can become uncircumcision. So in order for you to become uncircumcised or uncircumcision to become circumcision, you have to be of the circumcision to begin with. You have to be an Israelite to begin with.
Right?
Alright? So this is letting you know that the Romans, alright, who Paul is speaking to, are indeed Israelites. Alright,
Yeah.
but they were being called Romans and Ephesians, and you understand?
Right?
Come on, man.
Just like if, let me give you an example. If I have a child with a Japanese woman,
So-called
a
Japanese.
so-called Japanese woman, or a so-called Chinese woman, does that make the child a so-called Chinese or a so-called Japanese? When me being an Israelite, or me being a so-called Bahamian?
That's it. And that child live over there, so obviously that child is gonna damn take on the custom and ideologies and ways and shit of those heathens.
God,
And tell the child one day find out that, hey, I ain't no damn Japanese or Chinese or whatever.
right?
Alright? Alright, so now let's read Romans chapter 2 now. 25 again.
All right.
You can read straight on down to 29.
Romans 2, verse 25. For the circumcision verily profited, if thou keep the law. But if thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made on circumcision. Therefore, if the uncircumcision keep the righteousness of the law, shall not his uncircumcision be counted for circumcision? And it shall not uncircumcision, and shall not uncircumcision, which is by nature, if it fulfill the law, judge thee, who by the letter and circumcision doest transgress the law. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, neither is that circumcision which is outward in the flesh, but he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men,
Gone.
but of the Most High.
Gone. Alright, so read verse 25 one more time, Baba Kushya.
For the circumcision verily profited, if thou keep the law. But if thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made uncircumcision.
Gone. So this is the doctrine of the uncircumcision. Alright, of uncircumcising your heart and not of your flesh, Shalakia. Alright? So it goes back to the Old Testament. You see what I saying? So see, Paul, alright, Paul isn't saying something new, because the Most High been telling Israel about circumcising their hearts and shit. Alright, because why? There's a damn stiff-necked people.
God.
He been telling them about that. So now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna get a couple of examples showing you that. Alright, so we are Deuteronomy 3, 5 and 6. Alright.
Deuteronomy 35, 34, 30.
5 and 6. Chapter 30, and verse 5 and 6.
Alright. This is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 5 and 6. And Yahweh, thy power, will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good, and multiply thee above thy fathers. And Yahweh thy power will circumcise thine heart, and thy heart of thy seed, to love Yahweh thy power with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live.
Khan, see, this is in the New Testament. You see what I'm saying? This is in the New Testament too. This would be just been reading, showing you that this is of Israel. All right, this isn't something new. So that's so that the heathen could come in. This isn't nothing new so that the heathen could come in. This is old, and the Most High been telling Israel with circumcising their hearts. Read verse 6 one more time, Baba Kusha.
And Yahweh thy power will circumcise thine heart, and thy heart of thy seed, to love Yahweh thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live.
Khan, and we know what love is. Love is what? The keeping of the commandments, 1 John 5 and 3.
Khan.
All right, and all right. You got any precept? All right, so give me chapter 10 and 16 now.
All right. This is where you had written now, 10 and 16. All right. Deuteronomy 10 and verse 16. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked.
Khan. All right. So you see, the circumcision of the heart goes back to the Old Testament. All right. It isn't something new that Paul is bringing out. All right. Paul is telling you these Israelites, you know, these things according to prophecy.
Okay.
All right, which is in the Old Testament. This is what the Most High been telling Israel from the beginning.
Yeah.
All right, he been telling them to circumcise their hearts and stop being damn stiff-necked.
You. Just as you said that there's nothing new. All right.
You know, and Israel is stiff-necked as today. Ain't that jet?
Nothing changed. All right. When you go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and 9, you know, the thing that had been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there's no new thing under the sun.
Gone. There's no new thing under the sun. Same thing. The same exact same thing. All right. Give me Jeremiah chapter 4 and 4.
All right.
All right. Because this ministry of reconciliation and the circumcision and uncircumcision, you know what I mean? The circumcision of your heart. This is to Israel. All right.
And only Israel.
Paul isn't saying nothing new. He's saying the exact same thing what Moses and the rest of the prophets were saying. All right.
This is Jeremiah 4 and 4. Circumcise yourself to Yahweh, and take away the foreskin of your heart, ye men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my fury come forth like fire, and burn that none can quench it, because of the evil of your doings.
Gone. All right, so this is what Yahushua came. All right, this is Yahushua came and tell Israel at the time. All right, at the time they was near and far.
God.
All right, the Most High is going to destroy the earth and save the children of Israel. All right, so that's what Paul Alright, that's why Paul is teaching the gospel of reconciliation and the circumcision and the uncircumcision. Same thing. All day.
Boy.
Alright? He's speaking to the Israelites. Alright? Let's prove it. Give me 1 Corinthians 10. You can read from 1 to 4.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, reading from 1 to verse 4. Moreover, brethren. Now, let me just interject.
Alright.
Now notice Paul is saying, brethren. When you read Romans 9, he tell you who are his brethren. When you read Romans 10 and 1, he tell you who is brethren. When he said my brethren. Alright? All through from Corinthians go straight down to the Hebrews, the Titus. They say brethren.
God.
Alright? So he had to been sent to those who of the lost house of Israel.
That's it.
Who don't know that they are Israelites.
And Paul tell you who his brethren are. His brethren, his kinsmen according to his flesh, who are Israelites.
Alright?
Alright?
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that have you, Zelakia, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea.
Alright. Speaking about who?
Speaking about the Israelites. let me just see if I get that quick precept.
Yeah, but bring it out. You
All
know,
right.
is it our all possessive man? Any damn heathen passed through that. The heathens would pass through that got destroyed, which was the Egyptians.
You know, this is Exodus chapter 13 and 21. And Yahweh went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way. Yeah? And by night a pillar of fire
God.
to give them light to go by day and night.
God. God.
Huh?
And this is who? He says brethren, right?
It's brethren,
Saying our fathers.
our fathers.
Alright, speaking to the Israelites.
Alright?
So these who Paul is speaking to, calling themselves Corinthians, they are indeed Israelites who are being identified as Corinthians and as Gentiles.
Right. Romans and Parthians and all them.
That's it.
You know, because as far as we know, which God led which people under the cloud?
You know, and provide proof.
Right. Alright? Let me read that again. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the fire, passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of the spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Yahweh Mashiach.
Gone. Alright. Gone. Alright, so this is the ministry of reconciliation is only to the Israelites.
Only.
Yahweh Shai tell you he come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
God.
This is only for Israel. So if you watching this and you are not an Israelite, then this ain't for you. You're alright, go and flicking live it up. Alright, do a bunch of drugs, overdose, whatever.
You know?
You understand? Because trust me, your latter end is gonna be hardcore slavery.
God.
Alright? Especially you, Esau.
Serious.
Especially you.
He that lead in captivity.
She'll go into captivity.
Alright.
Alright? First Maccabees 1:11.
God.
Alright. Yeah, but like I say, man, if you're not an Israelite, turn the channel off, turn to another channel, this ain't for you. And if you're an Edomite, if you're a so-called white man, a descendant of the white race, your future is hardcore slavery. And then when that 1,000 years of hardcore slavery up, we're gonna round you up and we're gonna put you to death.
Can.
Thus said Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Alright, ain't no joining hand in hand. No, hell no. Because when your people was popping the necks of our ancestors, you used to take that shit and send postcards and do all kind of shit.
All kind.
Alright, but now you want to forget that. No. The scripture said to reward you double. Alright?
You. Speaking on that little bit, we just touch this precept. This is Sirach chapter 39 in the Apocrypha. Alright. Speaking about you Edomites them. When the 1,000 years have ended, we're gonna devour you all. We're gonna wipe you all plainly of this earth. Alright. We will not transgress our powers word. Alright. This is chapter 39 and verse 31. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon the earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word.
Alright.
So when the Mosai say, take him out, we will not transgress his word.
Done. Alright. So now, let's go back here to the gospel of reconciliation of circumcision and uncircumcision. Your first Maccabees 11, 1, 11 to 13.
Alright. This is the book of Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11 to 13. In those days went out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
Gone to these wicked Israelites, because the book of Jeremiah 5 and 26 says, among my people are found wicked men. Alright, so these are wicked Israelites. Read.
So this device pleased them well.
Alright, read.
Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathens.
Gone, so I want to hit you with this. What does the word permission means? I mean, Salakia, license. The word license means permission. So they got permission from the king to live after them.
God.
To keep their ways.
Keep their stinking ways, celebrate their stinking holidays.
Gone. Alright, now check this out. 14, 15.
Alright. Verse 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the custom of the heathens. Yeah. Let me read that again. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen.
Gone. Alright. These damn gym and coliseum and gymnasium and all that shit. Alright. But read on.
Verse 15. And made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischiefs.
Gone. Alright, so they were uncircumcised in their hearts because they stopped following the laws of the Most High. Alright, they start following the ways and custom of the heathens. We just read they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathens.
Alright.
Alright, so now in the New Testament, alright, Paul is talking about these people. That's why you hear in his letters, Paul is addressing them or referring to them as Romans and Corinthians and Ephesians and Philippians and all that. And also Gentiles. Alright, because they forsake the holy covenants.
Gone.
Alright, and join themselves unto the heathens. Alright. Alright, that's because they became what? Uncircumcised in heart. Alright, so now in Romans 2 and 25, Paul is telling them that the uncircumcised became circumcised, which you had to be circumcised in the first place. Meaning you had to be an Israelite. Alright? So the book of Maccabees is just breaking it down.
Gone.
Alright? Giving you the circumcision and the uncircumcision. Simple as that.
Simple as that is correct.
Alright, so read verse 15 for me again one more time, Baba Kushia.
Alright. First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 15. And made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischiefs.
Gone. So that's why in Romans chapter 10, alright, Paul is saying there's no difference between the Jews and the Greeks. Because they're the same damn people. See what I said?
Yeah, he says.
The same people. Alright, you got a precept?
That's Romans chapter 9.
Alright, give me Acts 10 and 34. Read from 34 to 36. Yeah, man. See, Jacob's seed is in many waters, meaning he's in every nation. Alright, and we look like other nations as well. Alright?
Acts chapter 10,
Come.
verse 34.
Yeah, read from 34 to 36.
Alright. This is Acts chapter 10, verse 34. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that the Most High is no respecter of persons, but in every nation he that feareth him and walketh righteousness, is accepted of him.
Come. So in every nation, alright, not of every nation. It says in every nation. Alright? Now why is that? Because Israel was scattered into all nations.
God.
Alright? If I could just pick up a quick precept. Alright? This is book of 2nd Maccabees, chapter 24. And this is the book of 2nd Maccabees, chapter 24, and verse 5 and 6. It says, I alone can pass the circuit of the heaven and walk in the bottom of the deep, in the wave of the sea, and in all the earth, and in every people and nation I got a possession. Alright?
God.
Alright.
There's the next precept with James 1 and 1.
God.
It says, James, a servant of the Most High, and of the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greeting.
God. Alright. So, he's saying he's Lord of all, and he's the King of Israel. Alright? And we all of the same nation.
God.
Alright? Now let's go to Acts chapter 1 now. You can read 4 to 6.
Acts chapter 1, verse 4 to 6. And being assembled together with them.
Right? Because, we in every nation. See what I saying?
God.
And now, here it is. Read.
Right? And being assembled together with them, commanded them that they should not depart from Jerusalem, but wait for the promise of the Father, which saith he, ye have heard of me. For John truly baptized with water, but ye shall be baptized with the Holy Spirit not many days hence. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore the kingdom of Israel?
God. That's why Yahushua came. That's what they was wondering when they was gonna receive the kingdom back then.
God.
You see what I said? All right. So let's go back into that verbal covenant. All right, to show you why why Israel is important to the other nations. All right, we're gonna show you that. All right, why the other nation and why the other nation don't mean a shit to the Most High. So let's go back into the Ten Covenants. May Exodus 19:5. All right. Because really and truly, the other nations, they don't mean a shit to the Most High. Absolutely nothing. All right?
No.
And there's a reason for that.
God. This is Exodus 19 and verse 5. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people.
Right.
For all the earth is mine.
God. All right, so we'd be above all people. So Israel is above every nation that's on the planet Earth. All right, and that's a racial statement within itself.
God.
All right, 46.
Verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
God. All right. So now, let me ask you all a question, or let me ask you all something out there. In Israel, we had priests, right? All right. Who did the priests then minister to? To the whole nation, right? So why would the Most High need a whole nation of priests? The Most High would need a whole nation of priests for the whole world. All right? For the heathens. And to teach all the other nations the ways, all right? To teach all the other nations the ways and how to worship the Most High.
God.
That's why Israel is important. That's why the Most High don't care about the other nations.
No.
He only care about Israel because they're the most important piece of setting up the kingdom.
God.
All right, Israel is going to teach the whole world, the other nation, how to worship the Most High.
God.
All right, and we have prophecies of that all day.
Right. That's why he said too, ye are the salt of the earth. If the earth loses its savior, you know what happened. All right.
You know,
Also, we are the light.
that's it.
You know.
So the Most High, we is the most important piece to the Most High because we are going to teach all these other nations how to live and how to worship the Most High. All right, and we are important in setting up the kingdom. All right, we are that important piece. Give me a quick precept about 1 Peter 2, 9 and 10.
1 Peter chapter 2. This is 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. Alright. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, an holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who had called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
God, that's verse 10.
Yeah. Verse 10. Which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of the Most High, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy.
Lo Ruhama and Lo Amin. All right, but that goes back to Hosea chapter 1. You see that? It's all about prophecy, baby. All right, so now let's hit Deuteronomy 7 and 6 again. So you could just quote it.
Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people on this earth.
All right, upon the face of the earth. So once again, Israel is above all people that's upon the face of the earth. All right, 7 and 8.
Alright. for his the one.
Or you could drop that and go to Luke. Go to Luke 1 and 68.
Alright. Okay. Alright, this is Luke chapter 1 and verse 68. Blessed be Yahweh power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people.
Alright. So redeemed, reconciled. Alright.
Okay.
Read on.
And hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
Gone. So the circumcision and reconciliation, alright, what we read about isn't something new. Alright, because the Most High had been saying that from the beginning.
Okay.
Like you just see.
As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
Gone. Alright. Which that goes in hand with Galatians 4 and 4. Let's get that. Galatians 4 and 4 and 5.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4, and verse 4. Right? But when the fullness of the time was come, the Most High sent forth his Son, made of a woman, made under the law, to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoptions of sons.
Right. To redeem them, to reconcile.
God.
Alright, and the adoption is for Israel.
God.
Because we just read that in Romans chapter 9. You see that?
Boy. To redeem them that were under the law.
Right, and only Israel is under the law.
God.
Alright?
So, if the Most High Power Yahweh sent his Son, his only begotten Son, to redeem them that are under the law, which was Israel, and Yahweh Shai taught his apostles and his disciples, do you think he can go and send them out to redeem everybody in this world?
No.
No. He taught Paul himself. Do you think he can send Paul to go redeem the heathens? When he himself was sent to the lost house of Israel, the lost sheep of Israel?
God.
That don't make no sense.
None. Alright. Let's go back to Luke 68 to 72.
Alright. Luke chapter 1. Back to Luke chapter 1, verse 68 to 70. Blessed is the Lord power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and hath raised up an horn of salvation for his people in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
God, read.
That we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us.
Right, read.
To perform the mercy promised to our fathers and to remember his holy covenants.
Right. So why we gotta remember the holy covenant? It's so that we could be ministers to the other nations.
Okay.
So that we could rule the earth in righteousness and maintain the righteousness of the earth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai.
God.
This is why he need Israel. This is why Israel is so important, the setting of the kingdom. This is why the other nations don't mean shit to him, because we can teach them how to worship and serve him.
God. God.
Alright. Read.
Verse 73. The oath which he swore to our father Abraham, that he would grant unto us, that we being delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve him without fear.
Right. And how are we going to serve him? As priests.
God,
Right? Because he said what in Romans chapter 9, the service, the covenants and the service and the giving of the law. You see that? So we got to serve him as priests and as a kingdom of priests.
kingdom of priests.
All right, that's how we got to serve him. That's how we gonna be priests on the earth to teach all these nations how to worship and to serve the Most High Power Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai.
Right?
You know,
That we may serve him without fear, in holiness and righteousness before him all the days of our lives.
why? Because we're gonna have the new covenant embedded in us. Hebrews 8 and 8.
God,
All right, and we're gonna teach that to the other nations, and if they ain't gonna rule, we're gonna punish them severely. Okay, you ain't gonna rule, you ain't got no rain.
God, God,
All right,
God.
all right. So let's go to Ezekiel 36. You can pick it up from 17 to 22.
All right. Ezekiel 36, verse 17. All right.
All right, guys. We gotta get over here soon.
Ezekiel 36, verse 17. Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their own doings. Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman. Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they had polluted it. And I scattered them among the heathens, and they were dispersed through the countries, according to their way and according to their doings I judged them. And when they entered unto the heathen, whether they went, they profaned my name. When they said to them, These are the people of Yahweh, and are gone forth out of his land. But I had pity for mine holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen, wherever they went. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, Thus saith Yahweh power, I do not for this your sake, O house of Israel, but for my holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, wherever ye went.
God.
I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathens, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am Yahweh, saith Yahweh power, when I shall sanctify in you before their eyes.
God. All right, so there's a separation right there from Israel and the other nations.
God,
So the Most High is going to sanctify us in their eyes. All right. Clear separation.
clear.
All right. And moreover, he tell us, man, don't do like the heathens and don't be like them.
No.
You know. And we could probably end on that.
God.
All right. Mid Jeremiah 10, 1 and 2. To close over on that.
All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1 and 2. And I know plenty of you Christians, you all know the scripture. All right. Hear ye the word which Yahweh spake unto you, O house of Israel, you Native American Indians, you Latinos, and you Negroes.
God.
Thus said Yahweh power, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathens are dismayed at them.
Right, so, you know, we are not to learn the ways of the heathens. All right. So, we see the ministry of reconciliation that was given to Paul. Paul was to go out and to bring those that were being called Gentiles, that were being called Romans and Ephesians and Colossians and Corinthians and them, to bring them back in so that they would be reconciled, you know, to the Most High, to make friendly with the Most High again.
God.
All right, so Lord willing, you know, we hope that this lesson was edifying to you. You know, and you have anything? You know,
No.
alright.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, so with that,
So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to all our Akim out there that's doing this work. In sincerity and charity with humiliation all across the four winds. Also, you confusion of faces, Akim that is waking up and that's pushing this word to the four corners of the earth as well. To you, I salute. Shalom.
Shalom.